Hello, Josh Tessier. What will audiences get from watching your movie Overrun?
What will they get? I hope a
Yes.
good time. I'm hoping that they it's a bit of a throwback, right? It's like it's doesn't take itself too serious. It's a bit of a uh I would say I don't want to say like a hard satire, but like listen, I get it. The idea is to have a fun time. Like remember when you watch Commando and Arnold's sitting around throwing things at people and be like, stick around. Yeah, I want you to stick around, enjoy yourself. There's a dude in Daisy Dukes in the movie. He's blown up. I mean, that's pretty much sums it up right there. If you're not into that kind of stuff or humor or comedy or not in for like a turn your mind off and just have a good time, then you know why you
This
watch
is
your movies in the first place.
definitely it's a solid light tone.
Yeah, still violent, but it's very
Yes.
light. I've done a couple things in the past where it's been like extremely dark and brooding
Mhm.
and this and because of Omid, and Omid and I are we're really good friends and we've been friends for a while. It's like trying to do something that is you know good for him too, keep it light on its feet, so it doesn't like drag itself. I don't like movies that get too dark and then kind of like make a left turn. You're like, I feel like a sense of humor really can help a film, depending if it's done correctly. I don't know if I did it correctly. I think I did, but I like doing action with quirky, interesting, weird characters that end up, you know, having fun with it.
Yes, definitely. So you were already a stuntman and an actor before this. So why did you want to direct?
So I guess I went to back when the strike happened in 2008. I went to school for post production, so I started learning actually to be a filmmaker back then, and I just started falling in love with cameras and learning all of that, so learning my trade. And I've always had an inkling to put things together. And I feel like a director is kind of like a guy who puts things together, kind of like manages and puts that. And I felt like you know, my dad had that skill really good. He wasn't a director, but that's just kind of like in his body. So I like the idea of filmmaking. I like filmmaking, and I think that it's just kind of a step up, step forward. I do like doing stunts, and I've been a stuntman for a long time, and I've done some acting, um, and I enjoyed that too. But I think that my passion is definitely more the technical side of things and the creative side of that.
So you're
So
hoping this is the new path.
yeah, because I do a lot of second unit directing, and I do a lot of still coordinating second unit directing. I think because of the stunt stuff, and I kind of started getting a knack for it, started really enjoying it.
Mhm.
I hope so. You know what I mean? Like I think that that's kind of the route. I mean, you tell me if a movie wasn't very good, then I'll just stay over there in the
No, no, no. No, it
yeah,
was fun. It
over
was
there.
a solid light tone, like I said. I just finished it like an hour ago, actually. So it was my start for the day. It was a nice start to the day.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, I'll take that. And I'm glad
I
you enjoyed it.
I had the morning coffee and my breakfast. I put the movie on, and like I wasn't assaulted. It was like, I mean, it was an action movie, but like the tone was nice. I was able to like start my day off and not question humanity or anything. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's the point, right?
Yeah.
It's like there are things that I would like to, there are movies I'd like to do that have
Mhm.
a little bit more of a serious undertone, but I like movies that kind of deal with morality in any form or fashion, and like if you can put a light spin on it, or you're like, you're sitting there going, yeah, I know, it's the same, it's all the cliches under the sun, but that was the point. So I want you to
Mhm.
enjoy the characters inside those cliches. That was like the idea of that. So I'm glad that you liked it. It is light, it's
Yeah.
still violent, but it's light. But maybe next time it won't be so light and you'll be yelling at me.
well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So you've got a great supporting cast in the movie,
I
and I
do,
was wondering, did Bruce Dern tell you any great stories?
bro.
Huh?
That man is full of stories. He
He,
is so great. He
yeah.
is, yeah, he is. The thing is about Bruce Dern is like he showed up, and honestly, I would probably pay him I'd give him his rate just to hear him tell his stories. He had some great stories about John Hurt. He had like stories. Just I didn't get I wanted to ask him about John Wayne and I never got around to it because we were so, we were so slammed.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said a really funny story about John Hurt about doing a Western, and how, John Hurt at the time ago, I guess they didn't see eye to eye, and Bruce and him kind of like sparred a little bit mentally, and it was just a fascinating story because, like, I can't even remember what film it was, but yeah, just in general, the guy has so many stories, and they're so fun to listen to. So like, he's such a warm person too. In working with him, and he think because, like, Bruce, right? He plays really good bad guys and he's kind of intense, but like, he's actually a very complimentary person. He's
Mhm.
very kind, which I wasn't expecting. But like, I gotta tell you, man, I really enjoyed him in general.
That's
But yeah, he had some stories. I wish I could remember all of them so I could tell you,
right.
but I'm just rambling now. So
No, no,
I'm
it's
gonna
cool.
stop
It,
doing
it
that.
was an enjoyable experience. So that's great. I actually interviewed some directors who worked with him as well, and I said, yeah, Bruce Dern, he must have had some great stories. Oh no, sorry. I said, yeah, he's worked with some great directors, and they said, yeah, and he'll tell you about it.
He sure will. He
Yeah,
sure will. But you know what? He's a really nice guy, and if he likes you, he'll he'll really be kind about that whole process, right? Like, he really is a complimentary person. He will tell you, but like, he'll compare things and tell you stories. That's just where he lives now, and I think it's
yeah.
amazing. I love it.
It's cool that he still works. He probably doesn't have to.
No, I don't think he has to, but he's still sharp.
Mhm.
He's still sharp. Like, yeah, man, he's sharp. Because we
That's what's
shot,
up.
we didn't have very much time with him, and
Yeah.
he did 8 pages in a day. Bruce Dern,
Wow.
yeah, man, he's great.
He got it in.
So,
So tell
and
me about your
and
lead. You said Omid's your friend, Omid Zader?
Zader,
Zader. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
it's Zader like Vader. Yeah, Omen and I have known each other for a long time, and he's we started in stunts together. When I met him, I hired him on like a Lifetime movie years and years ago as a stunt performer, and I was a coordinator, and we just became fast friends. And he just wanted to be a fight coordinator at that time, and then he started getting like the bug for performing and acting, and he's gotten small roles here and there on television, and then he started like really taking it serious, and we did a couple things together. And I really think that everybody has to start somewhere, and I feel like Omed is going to have a really good career because he's a good look. He's kind of an affable guy. He can be pretty intense, but I think that like this is a great place to start for him, and he's just going to keep getting better and better. But like, I've been friends with him for a very long time, and same with Bill Catt. William Catt is like my dad. Like, I love Bill. It's like he's a wonderful person, and I've known him for a long time too. I met William on a really bad movie that we were both in, and I tell you this because I was sitting there getting eaten by a dude who was in underwear and some like weird alien sock mask, and I'm like screaming like a banshee. It was a bad movie, really bad. And Bill like comes in and was like, "Yeah, man, you're a pretty good actor." I'm like, "There's a dude in his underwear eating me." And we're like, and it's like not supposed to be that, right? It's supposed to be like really
Yeah.
bad makeup, and it was really bad. But we ended up becoming fast friends, and we ended up playing music together because Bill is a really good musician, and we played for a little bit, and then we just became really good friends, and work together on pretty much everything that we can. And I love William. He's amazing.
Awesome. So how long does it take, or how long did it take to stage and shoot the action scenes in this movie?
So usually she would want, a day for a fight or 2 days, depending on
Mm.
what it is. But we're literally shooting these fights in 2 hours, 2 or
Wow.
3 hours. Yeah, like man, 83 setups. I think the longest we ever shot was the junkyard fight scene. And I think that was like a total of 3.5 hours. But it's like I boarded everything, and then we went and designed, the idea of the fights like well before. But since that's what we do, like since that's primarily what we get hired to do is put together fights and put together action, is like I pretty have a because we shot the total movie in 15 days,
Mm.
like, which
Jeez.
is, yeah, 15 days. Um, that was pretty tough, but like it was a good time. We just had to be really efficient. So it's like,
Mm.
when you're looking at things and you want to pull back, um, we have to really be disciplined so we can get that done. You know what I mean? Efficient. I wouldn't have been able to get it done without the AD. Very dear friend of mine. She's incredible. So, But I think because of that, she was able to push us so we can get the things done. And just know that the performers, most of them were stuntmen. So they knew how to do what they were supposed to do. And I would have loved to have more fight scenes and more time. But in this particular movie, we never shot any scene really, especially a fight scene longer than 4 hours ever, which is not very much time.
Interesting. So I would love to get your take on what it's like to work on The Mandalorian, because I saw you did some stunts of that. So, I mean, come on, that's such a great show. You got to tell me what the experience was like.
I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't love the experience.
Really?
I loved the people. I didn't, it's a really big show, but they were trying to find their footing. It's a listen, the guy who hired me, Ryan, is great. And this was back in season 1 and season 2. And my buddy, Nick Stanner, who helped me with our film, they put me on the show, and it was just, John Favreau was wonderful. He's a wonderful person, but it's like the show's a really big show, and it just kind of, I felt like it was a bit of a mess personally, but everybody was really nice and everybody was working really hard. It's just like I feel like they're trying to find their footing, long hours, all this fun stuff. So it's a bit zany. It's a big show. So I will say that seeing, an 8-foot, what are those things called? Banthas.
Right.
Like in real life was pretty amazing. Like the props and the effects and stuff like that were incredible. Like really, really, really cool. So it's like, and I did an episode where Timothy Olyphant was on.
Yeah.
And that was pretty special. He's a really nice guy. I really, really enjoyed him. I've liked him for a long time, I've liked him since Deadwood, even before then. But he was just listening to him talk because he was with one of his old buddies that was on the show with him on Deadwood. And I was just kind of in the area, and I was just listening to him talk and chat. It was pretty amazing.
That sounds very cool. And just, okay, so the next time I watch the show, who do you play? How can I spot you?
I'm just a random stunt guy. I'm a random stunt guy. So it's like it wasn't like a crazy thing.
Okay.
So I'm like in one of the couple episodes I play like a minor, and I play a couple other characters. I play like a wolfman and in one of the other episodes. But it was a good time. So it was just it's a hard show.
Sounds like an intense experience from what I'm taking away from this. Yeah.
It was, man. Listen, they know what they're doing over there. So they do it, it's like, but every show is a show. It's like, the long hours and all that fun stuff. But the people are really great. And the show itself is a really good show, and the directors are great. John is I get to actually, that's the thing, the episode that I did, he was directing it. He's the man. Like, he's the man. Like, listening to him do his thing and like watching his creative genius is something to behold. So that's really fun.
It's really interesting to hear that, actually. Haven't talked to anyone who worked at The Mandalorian, so this is cool for me. That's like, it's probably like the only show I watch right now.
Really? The Mandalorian?
I watch movies. I don't watch TV.
Okay. Yeah.
I love The Mandalorian.
It's good. Oh no, it's a great show, and it's funny. It's crazy. Like working with like seeing the process is pretty cool, and I would track a little bit. So I personally like smaller shows because there's a little bit more like, sometimes you get lost in the big shows.
Yeah.
So it's like you do this and like, and like the hours can be very, very long. But yes, it was a cool thing to be a part of that world. I guess sometimes I get a little jaded, right? It's like when I did 300 or when I did, Stargate or one of these things, it's like you literally are stepping into a place that's like been built. And it can be really cool, so like the experience was great. Those aren't my favorite type of shows, but like the people that are doing those shows, those are wonderful. You know what I mean? It's like so it's a really cool thing, and just know that it's pretty cool. It's like to be there, like be a Tatooine. You're like, oh my god, that's really neat.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. So this is maybe a foolish question to ask, but I'm going to go for it anyways. What is your favorite action movie of all time?
It's tough, man. Like I can't even think about that because it's like there's so many.
There's so many, I know.
There's so many because like, where do you go? Do you go like cheesy or do you go
Okay,
like
how about
super
this?
action?
What was the first one that made a big impression?
Me?
Yeah,
Let's see. Oh man, boy, you put me on the spot here.
I
I'm trying
know,
to
I
think.
know.
Action movie that's like, oh man, I don't know if I have an answer for you. I can't even think because like I'm trying to
Yeah,
think of like, oh, what do I like? As of late, I've been really liking a lot of foreign action films personally.
nice.
Um, it's like obviously I like The Raid Redemption. That's a
Oh,
fantastic film. If you
great,
haven't
great
seen it,
stuff. Yeah, yeah.
but like I'm trying to think of like you can't beat Roadhouse, man. And it's like old school that kind
Yeah.
of feel if you like that type of thing.
Mhm.
But oh man, you put me on the spot. And I'm trying to think because like you have like the old school boxing movies and the old school war movies. Oh man,
Do you like
I don't
kung
have an
fu?
answer for you. Go ahead.
Do you like kung fu?
Of course, I like kung fu.
Yeah, yeah.
I love kung fu.
Nice.
I love kung fu. It's a fun time. Oh man, did you ever see Blind Fury?
Blind Fury. Oh, is that with Rutger Hauer?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I
terrible
think I've
in the
seen it.
best
Yeah.
way. It's terrible. I like really I like. Here's the thing. I like good stuff, but also like
Of
bad
course.
movies. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Yeah,
So
for sure. Like, you can't make Kill Bill Volume One every time.
yeah, Kill Bill was great.
Yeah.
Listen, the guy's he knows how to construct a scene. He's a really good writer, and he has fun with it. Right? He can be kitschy and be great. Like Quentin is, he's a master at what he does, like the
Yeah.
stuff he does. So, and obviously he knows it. I'm sure he'll tell you about it.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he'll tell you that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he's really talented, man. I would love to just be in a room watching that guy work. I've never got to work with him before. So I've had a lot of friends been able to work on some of his stuff, and man, it just seems like it would be a masterclass in creativity.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Okay, so would you make a sequel to Overrun?
Would I? Yeah, I mean, listen, it's open ended to like
Mhm.
to be a sequel. Like
Right.
it could. I'd like to like explore. A person would like to explore something else.
Hmm.
But would I do a sequel? Of course, if people liked it enough and like it made enough money, and
Hmm.
someone wanted to say, "Hey, we like this world. Can you go do another one?" I kind of set it up that way. Yeah, I would take it in a completely different direction. Like I
Hmm.
would try to like make it. I wouldn't want to do more of the same. I'd want to like find a story that works and get better and make sure that it could be a better thing. So
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I would love because you're a very handsome man. You're very fit man. I would love for you to give some words of inspiration to people who haven't gotten off their butts during coronavirus, or maybe they weren't even going to the gym before that. What can they do to be beautiful like you?
I don't know how to answer that question. I listen, man. I think beauty comes within, right? So I
Hmm.
think that if you can be happy with yourself, you can be happy with pretty much anything. So, like, going to help you be motivated and get up and get out. You know what I'm saying? I think that that's really important.
Love yourself
So,
and go to the gym.
love yourself and then go to the gym, and then you can eat at the gym. Who knows?
Spread an energy bar instead of a chocolate bar.
Yeah,
You're good to go. All right.
absolutely.
Well, Josh, thanks very much for your time. I really enjoyed watching your movie and having a chat with you today. So how and when can people watch Overrun?
I think that Overrun. Oh, Annie can answer this question. I'm trying to think of when the our release date on DVD is, but it's out on, it's out on iTunes. It's out on um, Vudu, and I believe it's on Amazon. And so it's out. It's out to do
Yeah.
it. And it's going to DVD. I believe it's in DVD the next couple of days. Like it's here pretty soon.
Okay.
But yeah, please go take a look at it. I wish I had a better answer for you there because I'm trying
That's
to
okay.
remember. It's been a while since we released, and I know that we're trying to release, and I didn't. I should have probably, brushed up on that kind of thing. So I really
That's okay.
apologize.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time.
All right, thanks, brother.